we're going to repeat the same patterns. It's going to rhyme a little bit, though. That's how companies become massive, or all of a sudden you wake up and you just, you don't even know why you're using this, and you've been using stuff for years. This is how. Hey guys, Kareem Babe here. Could you imagine I give you $1 so I can get a billion? That's what video is all about. There's a business out there where you can just lose $1 and make a billion, perhaps billions. We're not talking about a billion Ochu. So last week, OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT, decided to provide access to its LLM language model AI to government agencies. And today, the parent company of Claude, Anthropic, decided to follow suit. We're probably going to see Gemini from Google and perhaps Grok from Elon Musk. So the deal is they give $1, they get $1 in exchange for providing access to various government agencies, federal, locals, etc. Right? But we're talking about the federal, for a year. Unbelievable move, quite frankly. And for those of you that were old enough to remember, it kind of reminds me how Windows became a monopoly. I'm not saying we're going to repeat the same patterns. It's going to rhyme a little bit, though. That's how companies become massive, or all of a sudden you wake up and you just, you don't even know why you're using this, and you've been using stuff for years. This is how it usually starts. And more importantly, guys, I just want to shed light on a couple of things. I did some research. The size of our federal government plus all the government agencies at the state level and local levels, it's massive. It's 37% of our GDP. So the federal government's around 23%. And then if you add all the other agencies, it's 30%. It's massive. So you're getting a client that represents 37% with US GDP. This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable customer acquisition. Think about it. The customer acquisition cost is nothing. These are softwares. So the cost to service them is just second to none. So the cost to build them has been upfronted, and then to serve the distribution, just click a button. Unbelievable. Obviously, they're not going to all share the 100% shares, but the repercussions are unbelievable in a positive way for these companies. And we got to take a step back and think about the repercussions for all of us. First of all, just U.S. government employees alone, there are 2 million people, right? So we're going to do two analysis: GDP size and then number of employees. So all of a sudden you snap a finger and you have access to 2 million users. So if they're going to price their service, let's say $100 annual fee per government employee in a year, just do the math: 2 million times 100, then you divide the pie among the three. And this is as sticky as it gets, meaning usually these contracts run for 5-10 years, right? And then their switching cost is so high that you almost are there forever, right? So that's one thing to think about it. The second implication is once you get deep into the rails, or you become in the rail of government agencies. It's great, it improves efficiency, it provides us with less red tapes, etc., etc. But think about the implications that the government is enabling these companies. One, it's a business on its own. As I just run you through the numbers, 37% of the GDP. They're gonna be involved in any single twists and turns of almost any rail or any infrastructure within the government. But then the hidden aspect of this, which I don't think anybody's talking about it, is all the government contractors, now they'll be also forced down the road, right, to adopt, either Chat or Claude in order for them to kind of intertwine with the government, right? So, to government have a rail. Think about it. It's just in order for both of us to communicate, we need to have the same protocol, right? TCP/IP back in the email days, right? The same thing is going to apply going forward. Once you become a rail, then everybody else will have to adopt it. Massive. So it's brilliant move from the folks, of OpenAI, Sam Altman, and those just tell you it pays off sometimes to rub elbows with presidents and uh, and politicians. So I think it's much needed. Quite frankly, I'm just worried that this could stifle technological advancement. Yes, it's going to enable us to be more efficient, but what about other technologies that are going to come afterwards that could be better, faster, but they won't have that advantage of getting access to the government? So just think about it as like a Google, how massive Google was just when they had monopoly on search, right? I mean, it's only now they're being displaced by chat and perplexity, right? That these things, I mean, in a way, they're good for consumers in the beginning, so they create a lot of efficiencies, but then they kind of like develop this moat and such high barriers to entry that small players can no longer play. Think about it. The new players, they're going to come into the market in the next 5 years. The government contract, I mean, as massive as it is, will almost be shut off from them. So just a few thoughts for you folks out there. Just want to keep it engaging. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channels if you like this content, or otherwise just write us your feedback so we can keep it engaging. Till then, have a wonderful day and talk to you soon. Bye.